As long as the three wheels are narrating this dream, there's no limit to what we all can achieve. Welcome to the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Really tiny, with a thrill, and Adelaide. Really recapping the aftermath to the mic, through the ropes, from the mat. No regrets from this shadow zone. There's no match for this podcast. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get it on. Let's get ready to fight. This is a war machine. Through sweat and tears we chase the unseen. Harness the rage in this gritty scene. Your fists are your words, your actions keen. Rips up from the hearts ablaze with fear. Breaking the chains that brought us here. Podcast warrior, show we're alive. Three wheels cutting through legends to ride. Stand tall as the world trembles. Unlock the dreams that no one can dissemble.
Hello, welcome to Three Wheels of Wrestling Podcast. Yes, another wrestling podcast. I am Willie Tiny, and our hosts today are Will the Thrill, and we have a special co-host with us tonight, Joe Wood from the Steel Steps. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. After this past weekend, if anyone answered anything but doing good, check your pulse.
Exactly. And we have Creepy Pinky with us tonight.
Hi.
All right.
How are y'all?
Can't complain. We made it through that snowstorm, whatever they want to call it, 3 inches, that all of a sudden now the snowstorm, but
Hey, to some people, 3 inches is a lot.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
And we're coming off our Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl win.
yes.
All right. So
The one thing that cracked me up about that is I have never seen Jalen Hurts smile so much for the past couple days. He gets to relax a bit.
I agree with that. It's good to see him smile a little bit. The another thing I think is funny real fast before we jump into wrestling is how, regardless of race, regardless of age, regardless of sexual preference, everyone says the same thing. Jalen Hurts is a good-looking man. That's like the one guy everyone just comes to an agreement with. Like, that's a good-looking dude.
all right. So
All right.
Creepy Pinky.
Yes.
How long have you been ring announcing?
Oh my gosh. I just sent Justin a couple months ago our year. It was like a year that we had done like the first promo shoot. So I guess I've been working with X Brand now like year and a half. Absolutely love it. I guess I've done like 9 or 10 shows. Justin told me last time, I don't keep track. I just am nervous the entire time. So I just try to make it through each show, not mess up people's names, ask 5 million questions in between to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But it is the most fun thing I get to do. I absolutely love it. I'm so excited for the show on Saturday. So excited.
Yeah, we're
Well-
all excited for that show.
We're all excited for that. How did you become a ring announcer?
So I am a model.
I hit the wrong button. I am sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Floor's yours.
It's okay.
Go
It
ahead.
was like a magic trick. I disappeared and then reappeared. So I am a model, and I guess I'm categorized as an alternative model because I have tattoos and piercings. But I do all kinds of stuff. And Justin Valencia found me on Instagram, and he sent me a message, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to do some promo stuff for my wrestling company?" And I was like, "Yeah," because at that time I was saying yes to everything. I was like, "Opportunity, sure." So, and he wanted to do really cool stuff. He's like, "We're gonna have weapons." I'm like, "I like weapons." So he wanted to go to one of my favorite locations too, which is Concrete City. We went to Concrete City. There was weapons. and bikinis. And then it was like really cool to like see me on like the flyers and like the promotional stuff. And then he was like, do you have any experience being a ring announcer? And I'm like, what's a ring announcer? And then obviously that answered his question. But then I did my first show and it was so fun. I don't know how, because I like wing most of what I say up there. Like the only thing that is really like they tell me I have to say is like people's names and like certain things. Like, of course, we always thank everyone for being there, but like the weird little quirky things just randomly come out of my mouth. I don't even know if they're always good things. I am like, just all right, let's go out there, hype everyone up. It's so fun. And now that people like know who I am and they get all excited, I feel special because like I'm not a wrestler. I'm not the main reason people are there, you know? So it feels cool to like get everyone excited and I don't know. And I freaking love watching the shows. Like I love being on the sidelines. I'm like standing there like watching everything like totally enthralled. So I fell in love right away. Like absolutely love every part of being a part of X Brand. It's so fun. Yeah, so that's how it happened. I tripped and fell into it.
Yeah, I think your X Brand show was the first one that I actually helped out on. We were kind of newbies together, and Justin, like we could tell you had like some nervous energy, and so you were like, Justin was like, you stay with her all night, and you just show her what to do, and I'm like, it's my first night too. Like I don't know what to do. Like what do you mean tell her what to do? Like, I never did this before, so it was pretty funny, kind of learning the ropes with you there.
Yes.
But being that X Brand is your first venture into the announcing avenue of anything really, have you since that first show to now kind of watched anyone or have any influences maybe in terms of who you try to maybe model your announcing off of?
So I wouldn't say that I model my announcing off of anyone per se. I say that I have kind of like refined it. So obviously I didn't really know exactly what he was talking about. Like I watched wrestling when I was a kid. I am far more into it now because like I've been watching it since I started this. I'm like, all right, we need to commit to what we're doing. So we need to learn a little bit more. And then of course I got back into it. And like I've been watching it. My boyfriend and I watch everything. We watch everything. We have multiple platforms so we can watch wrestling. I was watching all the ladders, tables, and chairs matches the other day, and I was like, Justin, can we do this? Can we get some ladders? That would be fucking dope. Like I do that shit with him all the time. I'm like, we need to do this. This sounds fun. And then he's like, I don't know how we get ladders there. I'm like, I'll help. I'll fucking strap a ladder to the roof of my car. Let's fucking have ladders. I'm sure if each of us BYOL, bring your own ladder, that would be fun. Anyways, so I've watched a lot of different types of wrestling. And I know that now I need to like draw things out. So, but I have my own voice. So it's kind of hard. Like do not have the voice training that obviously a lot of these professional announcers do. But I am a loud bitch. So, I guess I've just watched it and I've watched how they pronounce things and enunciate and like the energy. Also, some people's names are more fun to say. I hate to say that. I'm not comparing them. Like, it's just some people have like a catchier thing going on and I can really get into it. And some people's names are really hard and I am so terrified to fuck it up. Like, so I end up practicing it. I think it was Lance Anoa'i. I hope I said it in his name. I fucking said that name like 50 times backstage because I was like, I can't fuck this up. I can't fuck this up. Everyone's like, he's part of a dynasty. I'm like, I can't fuck this up. So I guess I've just watched. There's been several different announcers that I've seen because I've been watching old wrestling. I've been watching new wrestling. I've been watching all kinds of stuff. I've been watching backyard wrestling. There's no announcer, but it's awesome. So I guess I'm just trying to like find my own voice to be the voice of these shows, like to do my own thing and also do what I'm supposed to do. So I kind of always do my own thing. Everything it has my own twist on it. So, and I've definitely, I hope I've gotten better. Every show, I feel more comfortable. And I like the system that we've come up with. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do. Each time we go, this is how we do it. And I've gotten very comfortable. Of course, people like to mix it up. And if you ever pay attention to my face when people start fighting and I'm in there, it's probably hilarious. Uh, so there have been times where I like practice all this and then they end up ambushing each other and I didn't know and I didn't even have to announce anybody. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
No, yeah, definitely answered my question. And the Lance name you'll never have to worry about messing up again because he is now in the WWE.
I know
So
it's so fucking
yeah, so you
cool.
won't have to worry about that anymore. And I
That
guess
is so cool. He was
with the
so nice too. He
yeah,
was
he
like the
was
nicest guy.
that's the one thing I can say about him is forget like his background, where he's been and what he's done. You know, when he stepped foot into the little H2O center for uh compared to him, a nothing company, and did that and was the nicest person in the world. I have nothing but respect for that man because of how he treated all of us. You know, like he could have
Yeah.
been in there, big league dust, got his money and left, but he was respectful the entire time.
He was so nice because I even said, I don't want to fuck up your name. And he laughed. So, like, he was just so, I mean, everyone for the most part is really nice to me. It helps have boobs. So,
We we have had a couple guys, I have to say, where unfortunately they were there for just a payday. You know, came
mhm.
in, wasn't really willing to help with some of the stuff we're asking to get signed, stuff like that. You know, they weren't the most helpful people. Let's just leave it there.
Oh, hopefully we
Yeah.
have more that aren't like that than we
I
do.
think Will knows who I'm talking about too, but
Mm.
we all experienced it.
We're not going to
Yes.
name drop.
We're not gonna.
No, we're
And
not.
We'll do it all fair.
in my opinion, it's always good to be humble. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's always good to be humble. It doesn't matter, like, how big you get or any of that. You just have to be a nice fucking person. Like, and
I
if you're
agree.
doing this shit, your whole spiel is to like entertain people.
Yeah.
You're bringing joy. That's what we're doing. From violence, which I'm totally okay with, but it's still what we're doing. We're providing entertainment. We're bringing this like cute little creepy family together. It's my creepy cult. I love it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this wrestling business can change at the drop of a dime. You know, one wrong step and you're hurt on the shelf and in the minors again. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely agree with you. You know, be humble and treat everyone with the same respect.
Dude, I always do that. I'm in a field right now where a- age age is a factor, okay? I'm not going to be hot forever. Okay? So I mean, I may still be. I'm always going to be hot. I'm just saying that I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Not people are not going to want to buy pictures of my butthole for I mean maybe they will. I don't know. People are
Hey,
into
people
that
are
shit.
into some weird stuff, so
Granny porn is a
you
thing. It's
never
a
know.
thing. So that's good. That means I'm gonna have work for a long time. But like I'm trying just to eat up every moment. Like after every show, I tell Justin how grateful I am for this opportunity. There are so many hot girls out there that he could get to do this. There may be other girls who have experience and know what they're doing. But like I tell him every time, like, this is so fun. Like I feel like this is something I'm doing that even when I'm dead one day, someone's going to be like on YouTube watching our shit. And there's me tripping and falling in the ring, but still, there's me. So I tell him every time, like, I'm so grateful I get to have this small part in everything. It's so fun. It's such a fucking awesome experience in my life. Like, uh, and I have such a small part. So I'm just fucking grateful every time. I'm like, Justin, thank you so much. Like, thank you. Every time he's like, Pinky, can you host the show? I'm like, hell yeah, I can. When do you need me to be there? Like, I just jump on every opportunity because I don't know how long I'll have those opportunities. And you want to soak it up while you can. And this is just so fun. It's addicting too. Like, I want to hit people with shit all the time. And I only get to do it at wrestling shows. Any other time I'd get arrested. So it's like my therapy. And they beg me to do it. So that's even better.
Can we lock it in? Saturday night after the show, Will Tiny will get hit by something from Pinky.
Of course we can.
Can we lock that in, Will?
Let's go.
It's locked in.
Absolutely.
We're locking it in.
Hell yeah! That's gonna be awesome. I love hitting people with shit. The last show they wanted me to get hit with something, and I'm like,
can't mess the moneymaker up, right?
I know. I'm like, I almost got glass down my shirt too. I'm like, I got photo shoots and shit. I can't no. But then again, part of me is like, that would probably be dope. And like, I will literally do anything for X brand. So if Justin said, hey, Pinky, well, he's already been like, I want to do Jello wrestling. I'm like, okay. or like mud wrestling. I'm like, okay. I actually did that at my prom. I don't remember it, but I was drunk, but I apparently mud wrestled somebody. But
mud wrestle a midget, that would be wild.
That'd be I could pick them up. I
could
pick up a girl too. I can hold my own. I don't wrestle because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But Jello wrestling, where it's two girls, we know what that really is, you know. Well, sometimes they do actually wrestle. I've seen some crazy mud Jello wrestling matches. Like, they get hardcore. But then you have the other ones, like in old school, where it's just like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can do that. I can totally do that. I went to Catholic school. I studied dumb bitches like that so well. Sorry, that wasn't nice. Anyways, Jello wrestling is always a distraction.
Well, I do want to say, Pinky, because, you know, as being part of X brand, just like yourself, you definitely, as Joe said, the money maker, and also you are a sweet person. You are a major part of X brand, being the voice and the face of X brand. When you see promos and stuff, there is a lot of Creepy Pinky seen throughout on a lot of social media. So definitely think you definitely have accomplished that. And just like as a lot of other announcers and stuff, you are your own person, and that's one reason why we all respect you for what you did.
I love you all so much. That is so sweet. Thank you. I am happy, like, when things I promote. Well, I just got out of Facebook jail for like a month, so I feel awful because I haven't been able to promote. They tried to put me right back in jail. I was like, don't you dare. I didn't do anything wrong.
I thought they stopped censoring stuff.
No. That's what I thought.
No. They think I am entirely adult content. I'm like, I have seen porn on Facebook, bro. I do not post stuff that bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have taken some very risque photos, okay? I like that. That's everything you see that I put out, all of that is a little part of me. Because I'm an artist. Like, people don't want to admit that. They don't want to sit there and say, oh, she's just making pornographic photos. No, I'm an artist. I do nude art. Like, I have nude art hanging on my wall. I always have to make sure I keep this in a certain way so we don't get any violations. But like, I've been in art shows. Actually, I was just in an art gallery show. It was my butt, but it was my legs and then my boyfriend between them, but not in a dirty way, in an artsy way. But and the year before, I was in an art show as Pinhead Barbie, which is, I also make horror art. So I'm a huge horror fan. So I do all kinds of fun things. I've been Trash from Return of the Living Dead because I am obsessed with her. I've done Mystique from like the comic book version. That was fun. I was blue and I went to Burger King and people were like, what the fuck? It was so fun. So like, yeah, I get in trouble a lot though because I post risque things.
Well,
it's what happens. But
speaking of being at Burger King and people saying "what the fuck," I think it kind of segues great into the question I have for you.
Okay.
You said 9 or 10 shows now, right? You've been on X Brand.
I think so. I'm bad at that shit, but I think so. I think that's what Justin said last time. Like it was like number 9 or I can't remember.
Okay, so what has been that moment? Even though you like violence, what has been that moment that made you say, "What the fuck did I just see?"
North Korean assassin being on fire. So as you all know, I am an emergency medical technician for 15 years. So my full-time job is I work on a 911 ambulance. And you can ask Justin. I was like, Justin, I don't think he's okay. Justin, I'm worried about him. Justin, is he? And I know there's a nurse there. She has way more training than I do, and I have the utmost respect for. She's hardcore, our fucking girl, but I know that was scary. And I even checked on him so much. I was like, "Are you okay? How are you?" And I was messaging him when he, afterwards and making sure he was okay. And before he left, I was like, "I hope you're going somewhere to get checked out." I was like, please. And honestly, there have been a couple moments. Kamikaze into the car in the light tubes. If the camera would have been on my face, it would have been comical because I was just like, I'm like, I will say that these shows violate everything I've ever been taught. So like my date, I want to, and I'm like a mom, so I want to like take care of people. It's like what I do. I may have teenage boys, but that's another reason I'm like, oh my god, please. But it's crazy what I have to say, people say wrestling is fake. No, this is what these people put their bodies through. Hardcore is insane. I tell him every time, and I mean that with the utmost love. But he's insane. And I'm just like, now that's the one side of me. And then the other side of me is like, I really need to collect these bloody face selfies because I want to take selfies with everyone when they're like dripping in blood and just like let make my own little weirdo photo album. So, but it's insane what these talented people put themselves through, and I can take pain. I have a lot of tattoos, and I find them to be therapeutic, and I watch these matches sometimes and I'm like, fuck man, like how? And I watched Anthrax pull a piece of glass like this big out of his leg, and I was just like, oh my god.
And then wrestled, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Duct tape.
Yes.
Or I forget, it was like flex tape. It was
Yes.
like, and that oh my god. So on the ambulance, I get that all the time. Men call me and they've wrapped it in duct tape, and I'm like, don't do that. It has chemicals in it. It's bad for you. It goes against everything. But at the same time, I feel like I have more respect for them because I understand body mechanics even more. I understand the psychological and physical toll that they're putting themselves through to provide entertainment. I have a great deal of fucking respect for our talent. Like, I enjoy every fucking show and I'm grateful for every bit of their sacrifice, but I still think they're all fucking insane with the utmost love. Fucking insane. I could never. But it's so fucking insane to watch. Like the shit that comes up, they come up with them all this stuff. They come up with insanity. I love it. Every show I think that they can't top or shock me anymore, and no, every time I'm fucking totally blown away by something. I'm like, what the fuck? It's so great. I love it.
Yeah, I think I can attest to that. Tiny, when you're reffing and like I'm helping set up the ring and like you're questioning what we're supposed to do with this, and then we tell you and you're like, are we sure? Like, are we sure? Like, when I was helping set up like that car with the light tubes, I'm like, I don't see the vision, but I'll do what these wrestlers are asking me to do, and it turned out amazing. But I was like, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. All I could picture is when they hit the tubes coming up and penetrating these guys. You know, that's what I was worried about. But it worked out. So power to them. And the North Korean assassin, that man is like godly. He that happened to him, and then rather than going to the hospital, he asked the photographer to get some pictures of him. I'm like,
Yeah.
this man is insane. Insane that he would do that.
And he's so sweet.
The
Like,
nicest human in the world.
oh, of all the people, I will say almost everyone has been welcoming to me, but he is one that actually has, like, every time I see him at a show, he's like, Pinky, can I get a picture? I'm like, fuck yeah. Actually, I love the one picture of us because he's like, I want you to look scared of me or look at me like, ugh. And like, I fucking love when people want me to do that. I'm like, you want me to look like a bitch? Sure. It's so natural. I can totally do that.
Well,
But
shout
like,
out to North Korean because I don't know if you saw, but he around New Year's and stuff, he actually got asked to come to Japan, and like which is a huge deal for deathmatch, you know, like for Big Japan and stuff like that. So that was a huge achievement for him. So shout out to North Korean assassin.
yeah, shout
There was
out,
a
buddy. That's
parade
fucking
for it too over there
awesome.
too.
Yeah. I told him I can't wait to see. He messaged me, or I messaged him not too long ago, just to be like, hey, how you doing? And he was, or he said something to me. Either way, I was like, I hope I get to see you soon. So hopefully we get to see him soon. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, get him back. Did anyone see that when you put your thumb
Yeah,
up? It
you got
puffed
the
up.
magic. You got the magic.
Hey, she got
Oh,
fireworks.
fireworks!
What happens if you put this up?
Oh, double thumb is fireworks.
This should do
What happens
something.
if you do
Oh,
double
man.
down? Oh, it's
What's that?
rain.
Oh, that's cool. It should
That's
do something
insane.
if you put the middle finger up. That would
Yeah,
be.
I'm sorry, guys. I just took the show totally
It
off
doesn't. I
No.
course.
tried. That
Let's.
sucks.
We do have another guest, so we have to get through this.
Yeah.
So
So
Oh,
you have any
sorry.
plugs or any upcoming bookings or anything?
I have an event after this. I do modeling events with my best friend who's also a model. It's an old school Hollywood style glam event. And I'm like, I have a bunch of other stuff coming up. I'm doing a lot of I do car and bike washes and stuff. So in the summertime, that's something I love doing. You just put it's the easiest job ever. Bikini, and you just fucking wash people's bikes. It's really easy and make money. So I am going back to school. So right now I'm just an EMT, so I'm hoping to go for my next certification up. So I'll be able to help people even more and make more money. So that's something exciting that's happening this year. I hope there's lots of wrestling shows. But yeah, I mean, I stay busy. I have all kinds of things planned, all kinds of things I'm cooking up. I have a new cosplay I can't wait to shoot. Lollipop Chainsaw. So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
excited. I have the perfect wig for it.
Yes, you
So
do. And you got
yeah,
the outfit for it.
yes.
Obviously, you did since you said it. Yes.
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 And it looks so
Now,
cute. It is so adorable. So I can't fucking wait. I just have to find a chainsaw. There was a whole thing. I had a chainsaw. So
I was
that's
going to ask: are you going to use David's head as on your belt?
I should. That would be a good shot. We know photographers who could do a green screen kind of thing. So
That
I've
would
actually
be
done a shoot
awesome.
already where his head is on a plate and I was a killer housewife. So and I like drug his body out and everything and wrapped in plastic. It was fun. I've killed him a couple times, but he's also killed me. He did a photo shoot as Art the Clown and I look dead. I'm actually super proud of it. But like my friend Michelle, she is like the most dope photographer ever. she's like, I want you to lay on all fours. I'm like, it sounds kinky. But she's like, I want you to lay on all fours and I want you to just look dead. So, and like Art the Clown would totally put a saw in between someone's ass cheeks and cut them that way. If you've ever seen Terrifier, like, yeah, he would.
Yeah.
So I'm laying there. I look dead. I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. Like, look at that. It is fucking dope. It's is one of my favorite photo shoots. My boyfriend and I love to do horror photo shoots together, so there's been a couple things where I've killed him. I was Jeffrey Dahmer, but a chick version, and I had the drill and a sandwich. I was like, we're gonna get canceled for this. No,
I mean,
everyone
people
was like,
started to idolize
no.
it in the last couple of years. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do have a question from Joe Hale. It says, who was your favorite name to ring announce?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
Anthrax.
Nice.
Yeah. I like
Good
hardcore
choice.
too. I have so much fun saying hardcore's name because he's just fucking awesome. But Anthrax, he's also like not my favorite, but he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I don't have a favorite. I can't just pick one. That wouldn't be fair.
Well, I can tell you right now that Justin showed us one of the people's they asked where to be coming from for this show, and you might have a new favorite because it's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so fun.
All right. So we will see you Saturday. Everybody coming out
Yes.
Saturday to X Brand
Yes.
in Marcus Hook.
Yes. So excited. I will
Get
see
your
you guys
tickets for
Saturday.
Always Bloody in Philadelphia.
Yes. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. I'll talk to y'all on Saturday.
See you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Bye.
Wow, how was that? That was a very nice interview with Creepy.
Yes, it was.
That was a lot of fun. It was kind of to me it felt more like a conversation. You know, it was like kind of us just like talking and just reminiscing about the past 2 years almost of X Brand. It's been a wild ride.
Oh,
We're not
yes.
stopping now.
All right, we have our. Well, he's coming. He's coming. So
Yeah,
the
I
event.
do want to say I love your flyers, dude.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with you, bro, I was like, I work from home today, and I was lazy, so I was just like walking around in sweatpants with no shirt all day, and I was like, no one wants to see my man tits on screen, so let me find a sweater or something. And this was just like on the steps. I was walking up the steps. I just threw it on real fast.
All right, our guest is ready. Will the Thrill.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good evening,
I'd
boys.
like to introduce Sergeant Jimmy Controversy in the house. Welcome, Sergeant Jimmy Controversy.
What a beautiful night it is right now. What a beautiful night. How's everybody doing, first of all?
Can't complain. Can't complain. Like you
Good.
said, a beautiful night.
Well, I'm
How are you doing?
been busy, getting ready for a lot of things. You got, hold on, let me plug my phone in because it's, my phone's been going off all day because, I'm dealing with, got the show this Saturday, and then I'm going back to Philly 2 weeks later for Pro Wrestling Venom presents Conquered at the Firehouse 666. It's going to be a late night show, but we'll get into that in a bit. We got the Always Bloody in Philadelphia event coming up, and finally I'm back in Philly. The hero that Philadelphia needed. Not deserved. Not just deserved, because they don't deserve anything. They don't deserve shit. Needed.
Oh shit!
Sergeant Jimmy Controversy.
What's the beef? What's the beef there with Philly?
Well, Philly has the whole town of Philadelphia. I grew up, born and raised on the Jersey Shore, New Jersey. There's really nothing else like that. The good old Howell days, my hometown, where Game Changer Wrestling, Little Jimmy Controversy would sit, front, second row, watching, the my first deathmatch wrestling live is where I witnessed it, where it all started for me. And I feel like I got back into deathmatch wrestling in Philadelphia, and I've been, even though I've always had banger after banger after banger, and almost won a tournament in that I co-promoted in Philadelphia, but I was screwed out of it. Not surprised from those guys. I was cheered. I was met with hate. I was unwelcomed. I was treated very unfairly by everybody in Philadelphia, and it was wrong. It was wrong, and that's why I decided to come to X Brand. You got guys like you got good guys on the roster, like my colleague, my friend Roman 50, um, who's by the way been very busy with training, very busy with wrestling training. Pro Wrestling Renaissance, I think it's called, that he's training at in Maryland, and of course somebody who's unsung, Jimmy Chondo, very good guy. Another intelligent Jimmy, brilliant, brilliant, great guy, great guy, and you know I think he's gonna be there this Saturday. So am I. I got the I got another multi-man match. Justin keeps putting me in multi-man matches, and Delaware Mike, because Delaware Mike is smart. He's like, you got to be showcased more, in in the just pure one-on-one matches and stuff. And I don't disagree with anything Delaware Mike says. That guy's intelligent, 100%. But this is gonna be my last one because it's hopefully because it's Angel Metro, who the word hate now at this point doesn't even cross my mind because she's been talking a lot of shit about me since the summer. After we had some kind of a confrontation. We had a match at POR where she pulled out a taser and tased me and stole the victory. And then ever since then, her and Riley Crow have just been talking nonstop shit, like So the riot act, they're called, and then hardcore. He's just a punk, At this point, I can't even count how many matches last year I've had with hardcore, and I had Masty destroy him. And so I'm just gonna use him as a weapon against Metro and what's his name, Trash with the Stash, Bam Sullivan, of course, who goes, "Oh, who are you?" Thanks, Bam. You know who I am, man. You know who I am.
I don't even know what to say on that.
Didn't if I'm not mistaken, Bam and Moush just win hardcore?
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
So it's coming off a high this past weekend.
So by surprise, I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch that yet, but I know Bam and Mouse uh are riding high right now. So but my opinion is he's just gonna. Mouse is not in his corner. It's every man for himself. So
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
they I'm good for them. Like honestly, good for them. Now I'm not denying their talent. I'm not denying their talent. I'm not gonna bury them like Angel Metro buried me on commentary when I made my CZW debut. So
Ooh. At
at
Hammerstein.
at Cage of Death. At
Oh,
Cage of
Death.
Death.
Yeah,
Yep.
Cage of Death. Cage
ATX
of Death.
Studios, Atlantic
I,
City.
I'm sorry, I got them two mixed
Yeah,
up.
you're
I'm
good,
sorry.
man. You're
I'm
good.
sorry.
Tiny, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, so let me ask you this. I mean, you mentioned GCW, the Hal days, the original Hal days were something to see. That was special.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was magic. So when
Those
you're
days.
watching,
Yeah.
those days are never going to be repeated. They were some of the best wrestling shows
You know, in wrestling, you never say never. In the wrestling business, you never say never. I don't know if it's gonna happen with that company, so to speak, but ever since they wrestled, ever since they were completely, it was very different back then. It was very different at the time because um, they were basically dominating the market. Them and CZW were the two top promotions, and there were guys that were leaving CZW and going to work there, guys that were working both and stuff like that. And now since they left the Jersey Shore for a while, deathmatch wrestling kind of left the Jersey Shore. There's been companies like that would pop up that would have a have a death match, like a Brandon Kirk versus Takeda. I remember that in it was January of 2020. There were a couple but like other than that, in Jersey it was mainly H2O. You would have and CZW and GCW doing their thing. um it wasn't until this summer with us with X Brand when when deathmatch wrestling started coming back to came back to Howell, New Jersey.
Yep.
Came back to my hometown,
Yeah.
and I was really excited, but I was really excited for that. Really excited for that. And I think, having something like the shelter really would is really going to help bring that kind of style of wrestling and those kind of matches. And you'll see the death match names hopefully on the scene when once the time is right, back in Howell, and it'll be thriving in Howell again. So props to Justin for bringing that back, and props to Kurt Bale for giving the platform to bring that back too.
Well, so when you were in your childhood Hell days, was there a wrestler who you watched and you're like, I'm gonna be a wrestler and this is who I want to model my
well
career after?
well before Howell, I was, I've always been into wrestling my whole life, kind of grew up around the business, with my grandfather being very involved as an agent and stuff like that. So I watched the movie The Wrestler, and then I saw when I was like 9 years old, I saw this Mickey Rourke and Necro Butcher, that match, and I'm like, oh, this guy's awesome. And I started looking him up, and got into CZW, and then guys like Wife Beater, guys like Zandig, Sick Nick Mondo, uh, Masada, all those guys, eventually. And then seeing my first uh, my first Tournament of Death was like Tournament of Death 9, and you know when I went there, I was just like, yeah, this is the kind of fuck it. I've always wanted to be a wrestler, but this is the kind of wrestling I want to do.
Hmm.
Really, this stuff is awesome. And then later on, got into FMW, and I was just talking about that. No one was more hyped than Onita, to be honest with you. He was like the rock of the deathmatch scene. Like, no one could get more hype than he can. Everybody believed in his hype. He always appeared larger than life, and that's what I loved about Onita. And then the exploding rings and all that. So that was the kind of stuff that got me into deathmatch wrestling. And then it was usually because I went to a Tournament of Death once a year. Uh, from TOD 9 and 10, and seeing Masada versus Takeda. TOD 10 was uh, unreal, really pretty cool with Masada nowadays. And then later on, just going to Howell and seeing, a whole bunch of other guys like, I would see Masada, Suicidal Beast, Bryant Woods, Gage, and all those guys. And yeah, it was something, man. It was something. Low Life Louie, who I got to know personally when he came to GTS for the first time, and brought his kid who was like 10 years old, and it's crazy how I got in the ring with him this past year. Um, and he's still going, and his son Louis Jr. is learning and learning quick. I will say that about them. Mad respect to them.
Absolutely. Since
Mhm.
since you're a deathmatch wrestler and all, if you could put a definition on deathmatch, how would you explain that?
I don't. You see, here's the thing. Knowing what I know now, uh, I feel like deathmatch wrestling is more of a match type, and like it's something that like what made it special is that there was always a story, especially at CZW. There was always a story behind it, and like nowadays people just they'll fill the card up with death matches, and for a tournament you have to, because it's a death match tournament, but like it's it's something you hype, like the way uh CZW's been doing it now, with having a meaning behind it and having a reason as to why you know uh say Judge Joe Dredd, who is this year is definitely going to be his year, because he's like one of the top guys right now, and Mickey Knuckles were in the cage of death. Like there was a story behind that. So like every kind of so like deathmatch wrestling, yeah, it's a genre, but at the same time it should also be treated as a match type, and like a way to either enhance a rivalry or end the rivalry. So that's how I pretty much define it. Like, and that's what makes it more that's what makes it more special, in my opinion. So
It's a good definition there.
yeah,
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
100%.
So you're pretty much saying that you feel like there's an oversaturation on cards of deathmatch, whereas the deathmatch should be the end of a storyline rather than just because.
Yeah, I feel like it should not necessarily end of story. Like it doesn't always have to be the end of like a storyline, but if you're in if it's like a heated rivalry of something, that's where it should be like used. Now we're starting to see though a boom period for deathmatch wrestling. We start like 20 night from uh I think like 2016 and like to 2022. There was we're still in it, the boom period for wrestling again, and independent wrestling, and then as the WWE product, which I just recently started watching again for the first time in 15 years, started getting better. That's going to further the boom period for wrestling in general more. And now I feel like um with basically the pandemic over, and people are just looking for entertainment, and people were looking for people want to see people fight and stuff like that. And it's companies such as XPW came back, and you know Tournament of Death took like came back bigger than ever. um like in 20, I don't know if it was in the 2020. What was there a TOD in 2020? I forgot.
Yeah, this is the second. I believe it's the second year back, right?
Yeah, this is the second year. No, this is the third year back, actually. I feel like this is the third year back. So like what
Okay.
CZW was doing and stuff like that, and all these other companies that are willing to have death matches on their card, starting up, like we're in a boom period now with deathmatch wrestling, 100%. Like
Yeah.
it's becoming more respected as a craft. It's becoming more respected, and that's a great thing, um, because it is another craft, and just like all kind of wrestling, it's not for everybody, and you go in, you got to know like what you're doing before you actually go in there and put your body on the line. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, with everything that you've been through for your career, do you
Still
have a
going.
favorite opponent that you just have magic with?
Oh God, I really it's these, like I said, these last 2.5 years have been wild. Like, I'm on the road nonstop. This was about literally my only weekend off, to be honest with you, and not really, because I was marketing for my show in Philly and stuff like that for Pro Wrestling Venom Conquered. So I've gotten to get in the ring with a lot of. I've had the privilege to get in the ring with a lot of prominent names and people that I watched growing up. But I always go back to my very first Carnage Cup was when I got to get in the ring with Necro Butcher, who was the guy that got me into it, like got me into deathmatch wrestling, and the reason why, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even discovered it, and probably wouldn't have been involved in it. And I got in the ring with him and Bryant Woods, round one of the Carnage Cup 2 years ago, and it was an honor, because ever since then I started getting back on the road and starting getting back into got to X Brand, and started doing my own thing again, and started getting to do the kind of wrestling that I originally aspired to do. And I thank I thank always, every day, I thank Necro for that. I actually owe him a one-on-one, to be honest with you. I owe him a one-on-one, 100%. Would love to get back in the ring with him. Hopefully he can come to X Brand. You never say never.
That's true.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's having a resurgence.
He is. He's doing phenomenal. Like nothing could keep him down. He just literally shattered his hips in Japan.
Yeah.
And I think it was around Memorial Day, because he was talking about opening up his school and stuff like that, and then he shattered his hips. He opened it up anyway, and he was just staying in Japan for a while, and I was just checking up on him every day and seeing how he was doing, and then he finally came back here, and I think it was like not even 2 months later, I see him on a wrestling show, and I'm like, wow. It's and honestly, Necro is he's one of the nicest guys, and one of the most intelligent people I know. Probably the most intelligent guy I know, because he could tell you literally anything about everything. Video games, wrestling, politics, history, anything. Guy's a genius.
If I'm not mistaken, him and Samoa Joe had a pretty wild spot.
Oh yeah,
back
dude,
in the day. That was insane.
Well, that was one of the ones. After I saw the wrestler, I looked up that match, and it was the CZW match. Like, I don't think Samoa Joe originally wanted to get in the ring with him, to be honest with you. And he got in the ring with him, and dude, that honestly is a contended for one of the greatest matches of all time.
That and one of the stiffest matches of all time.
And one of the most realest matches of all time. It 100% was. I say that was up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Oh, dude, trust me.
You never saw it?
No.
Dude, how? How did you guys not see that? Bro, that was
insane. It's at one point, if I'm not mistaken, I think Joe drops Necro on like his neck or something. He
did multiple times.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude, him and you know what's another underrated one? him and Drake Younger. I forget what year in CZW it was, but him and Drake Younger was pretty brutal too.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some wild one, but that Joe one, and
Yeah.
it wasn't even hardcore or anything like that. It was a wrestling match, but these guys were going at it.
Hey,
It was more real than him versus what's his name at XPW when they were throwing when Necro was throwing real shots and caught him on the chin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, he gave me a good one at Carnage Cup, but he did it with a smile on his face. He gave me a really good one at Carnage Cup. Bryant Woods, I was in the ring with Bryant Woods was in there too. He gave me a real good one before laying me out and then taking me out of the whole tour. Bryant Woods is a beast too. He went on to win the whole Carnage Cup. And then this year well, you know who I got first round. I fucking hate this guy. The dipshit body. So that was my first round match this year. The dipshit body in a fucking BDSM I quit match because that was the match he requested, and I was the one who he requested to work. Sorry for the term to get in the ring with. He literally went to Kevin and requested he wants and he even said Sergeant Jimmy controversy in a BDSM I quit match. And I'm like, all right, well, this guy's gonna get his fucking ass kicked. He's out of his fucking mind. And he was right. And here's the thing: people are saying I'm fucked up for what I did to him, but I think given his track record, he deserved it. A little prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I get everyone's playing a gimmick, but there's some things you don't say that cross the
Yeah.
line.
100% cross the line. And so then and then I go on to the second round against Mickey Knuckles and Little Sicko, and it was Little Sicko who went on to win the tournament this year's tournament,
Yeah.
beating Sakota. So there's a pattern here that I'm getting in the ring with guys who are going on to win, the Carnage Cup. So I'll be more likely to get this year. I'll be more likely to win this whole thing, no matter who's in it. It doesn't matter. Necro 100. If they bring him back, I'll be a little. I'll start. Getting second thoughts. Maybe I won't win this, but I think even with Bryant Woods and Michael Kruger, who I have a bone to pick with as well, and the fucking I don't think the fucking body will be in this year's, because once I'm done with him, he's gonna want to quit the wrestling business and rethink his decisions. But yeah, I think I got a good chance at winning this year's, to be honest with you. And if Justin were to throw a tournament, I got a great chance at winning that tournament at X Brand. I'll tell you right now.
We got to get that ball in motion. We got to get that.
Oh,
that would be a cool
Justin
thing
and
to
I have
do.
spoken. Sick Mex and I have spoken. We're gonna get that ball in motion coming up. And what better place to have it than in Howell, New Jersey, my hometown. Not only was it, home to some of the best deathmatch wrestling, but it was Howell, New Jersey was my hometown. Howell High School, the home of the Rebels.
Live PD.
One of the best wrestling teams in the state, 100%. While I was there, during my time, of course. I don't know about now.
Jimmy, you sound a little congested.
I'm outside. I'm outside. Listen, my every day so far since the injury at the last house party show, since I sliced my arm and went to the hospital and they put me on every antibiotic on the world. I've been waking up in the morning like 5:30. I've been jogging in the freezing cold, running in the freezing cold, uh, doing like this UFC circuit of fives workout when it's not snowing but still really cold. And then, I go to class because I'm taking, criminal justice class. It's just something to do. I do some pro wrestling Venom business work. Do some other work and stuff like that.
Can you tell us a little bit about cocaine?
We'll get into that prick in a second. But I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you something. It has nothing to do with cocaine. To be nothing. If you guys are insinuating, then nothing to do with it. I would check. Well, I don't think I think hardcore straight edge for the most part, but I would check. I don't know. I would check. I would check the trash.
I'm talking about the
I would
character,
check
the
Mr.
gimmick,
Trash Stash.
the gimmick,
But
the character.
uh, cocaine. Listen, I brought him into GTS wrestling. Couple days later, you see a cocaine parody on Juggalo Championship Wrestling, and then the next thing you know, the original cocaine is being used more frequently. His most prominent opponent, and this is shocking too, was Biggie Sanchez.
That's for the
And
X-Brand Golden Vial title.
somebody had this idea where somebody had this crazy illusion. Yeah, that's right. Somebody had this crazy illusion that cocaine and I were the same person, but that was confirmed to be false when cocaine came in literally as I was about to get the pin on Richard Church or Dick Church, and in the match with him and I and Jesse Daniels, came in and threw some of the white booger sugar in his face. So, and then I got the win. So, again, I'm happy that he got me a win. But I didn't need it. But at the same time, he's given me a lot of bad publicity with guys such as Dustin Rhodes and Jonathan Coachman and even Glenn Jacobs, who denounced it for some reason.
Are you friends with cocaine?
I wouldn't say I'm friends with cocaine. I wouldn't say he's more of we'll do business. We'll do business together. He's more of a we'll do business together. We'll work something out. He's gonna be appearing live in Philly for the first time ever for Pro Wrestling Venom presents Conquered. Who's also making his debut at Pro Wrestling Venom? The voice of Deathmatch Wrestling, Larry Legend.
Shout out to Larry Legend.
One of these days he's got to come to X Brand, and him and Pinky would be a phenomenal commentary team. They would work phenomenally together.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, that would be something. That would be something. But yeah, I am a little bit under the weather to go back to that. But I should be good for Saturday. I'll be more than good for Saturday. I'll be a hell on wheels for Saturday.
Do you think cocaine will show up Saturday?
Who knows? Very unlikely. He's kind of saving his Philadelphia debut for
Venom.
He's kind of saving that for the end of the month. So very, very unlikely. And both shows are stacked, to be honest with you. We got I know X Brand has a hell of a card. My match, you got JB Anderson, who's currently holding the Pro Wrestling Venom Championship against Louis Jr., but that's for IWA Vintage. Listen, JB, I tried to work with you after Pits of Hell, dude, but I helped you win the Pro Wrestling Venom Championship because you were a way better champion than Mikey Anarchy. That's true. That's true. But you're holding the title hostage and you're afraid to defend it. Why? Why? Because you think you'll lose to somebody like Masty?
He shouldn't be. He's the hardcore hoochie daddy.
Or if he somehow, exactly. Or if he somehow overcomes the odds against Masty this weekend in a fans bring weapons match, Princess Death Wish. Come on, bro. Come on, like I thought you were this. I thought you're like the hardcore hoochie daddy. You're Mr. Hardcore, with the kitchen knife and all that shit. I mean, come on, man. You're Pro Wrestling Venom, X brand. You're a fighting champion. You got to step up. You got to step up, no matter who. And Masty is one tough motherfucker. He dominated the last uncivilized cup. He dominated it. It took Anarchy and Obey. I was like left. I was literally
Chop liver.
around there somewhere. Well, not chop liver, but it took Anarchy and Obey to work together to eliminate Masty. And even Masty, he's somebody that was just neat. I think this year he's gonna get some eyes on him. Like he should be at a GCW. He should be a CZW or major company like that, because he that motherfucker could go. That motherfucker could cause a lot of damage. That motherfucker could get ultra violent, and you're gonna see that February 28th when he goes against Atticus Reigns in a barbed wire ropes match. Old school, old school. Atticus Reigns was the one who coined the term ultra violence, to those who don't know. So it's
Interesting.
going to be unbelievable.
We mentioned X Brand this weekend, in Marcus Hook, and it's going to be an amazing show. But you keep talking about the show at the end of the month. Do you want to tell the viewers about that and, a little bit of what they can expect on that?
Pro Wrestling Venom and Firehouse 666 presents Conquered. And it's going to be a rave and wrestling show. There's going to be rave bands like Crooked Tooth and Myhawk Dubs. We got some other two performers that are going to be announced soon. So far, we have going to be the main event for the Pro Wrestling Venom Championship, or if Masty could get his hands on it. Who knows? But we're going to have the main event, definitely. Either number one contender or for the title. That's if Masty could get his hands on JB Anderson. Atticus Reigns and Masty in a no ropes or barbed wire ropes match, old school. You're going to see Tarzan Duran, who that crowd loves, versus Daniel Alexander in an Aerial Assault 2 match, which is going to be epic. You have Philly Mike Swanson versus Charlie the Axe Bonifer for the HWT championship, which is going to be hopefully one of the guys from the 570 wrestling will could air that match as well. But it's gonna be aired. I'm not sure what streaming platform yet. We're still getting that decided. And then you'll have the Raw. I am inviting Angel Metro and Riley Crow, the Riot Act, to this event. But I'm also inviting a good friend of mine from Wyatt, Michigan. Well, we team there. He's based out of Virginia. I don't know if you guys heard him, but he's worked a couple X brand shows. Went toe to toe with me in a couple X brand matches. Actually, the most recent one, Deathmatch Daddy and Juggalo Fight Club, Jesse Daniels. And we're going to put our differences aside and be allies as violence and consequences one more time. And yeah, the show's going to be hosted by Larry Legend, and it's going to be a great show. We have a hell of a lineup, and we got more to be announced soon. You know, I don't know what cocaine will be doing, but you know, he's cocaine. He's going to do his own thing. You know, I don't have control over him.
Joe Hale wants to know, where can fans get the tickets for the event?
Fans can get the tickets on Eventbrite.com, Firehouse 666 / Venom, Concord. It's going to be at Philadelphia, and tickets are only advanced tickets are $16.66 right now. Their price, not mine. And then at the door, I think they're going to be $25. So
very fair price.
Where is Firehouse 66?
I think it's like it's like 14 minutes, 14 to 20 minutes away from Center City.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be a good, show. I think tickets are selling. You know, we're going to have more announcements coming up, and Pro Wrestling Venom's back, taking over Philly, better than ever.
What a thrill. You got a
What a
question.
thrill.
Yeah, the question that we ask all our guests on the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast: past, present, future, your dream opponent, type of match, where, and who would get over?
Right now, because long term, I got a bunch of dream opponents. I would love to get in the ring with Chainsaw Tony Myers. I would love to get in the ring with Chainsaw Tony Myers. You know, I grew up watching FMW. FMW was as real as it got. I used to watch the FMW Leather and both versions of Leather, actually. Corporal Kirshner's no longer with us. But Tony Myers is definitely a dream opponent. Hopefully in the near future than the far future. But somebody that I've been wanting to get in the ring with for like a year now. And he's looking to challenge me too. And he actually started this, was Michael Kruger. And I think that's going to happen soon because there's something in the works. And then it involves X Brand. But all I got to say to Michael Kruger is it's hunting season. Hunting season begins. I hunt horror creatures. So if he thinks that I'm scared of him or anything, he's wrong. Because he could bring out a body bag, and we'll see who goes in that body bag. We could do it in my neck of the woods. We could do it in Philadelphia. I don't think they're deserving for it. Or we could do it around his neck of the woods in California or something like that. LA. So those are two dream opponents, so to speak.
Okay.
100%. 100%. And keeping my eye open for the because I know Masty once he gets his hands on JB, because JB's been ducking every single opportunity to defend the Pro Wrestling Venom Championship. So once he gets his hands on JB Anderson, I'm gonna let Masty carry the gold for a good while. But I got my eyes on the X Brand Championship.
Hmm.
You know,
Ooh.
I've been split open, screwed out of opportunities, had to sit out due to injuries. I kept going, had to work through injuries, had to fight through injuries, did a lot, gave 110% for X Brand. So I got my eyes on the X Brand Championship, and I got my eyes on Anthrax or Louis, depending on who wins this. We shall see.
Well, this weekend it's actually going to be Anthrax and Hellware.
Correct.
Or Hellware. Definitely believe Louis should have one more shot, but that's just my opinion because he is Louis. But you know,
Louis' number one contender. He will get his match.
Yeah, Louis' number one contender, but from what I heard, he feels as he's number one contender. He can wait to call his shot when he's ready.
When he's ready.
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Jimmy, you're back.
I lost you guys. What happened to the sound?
Oh, we're here. Do you hear us?
I can hear you guys now perfectly. We are back.
Yes, we are back. No, we've been here. But do you have any more upcoming plugs, bookings?
Well, I am going to be at the 21st, 22nd? I'm going to be at the CZW anniversary show this weekend, or next weekend, rather. And I got some stuff in the works. I'm going to be at potential booking out in Mexico, dangerous part of Mexico, in July. So yeah, and of course IWA Deep South WrestleMania is coming up around the summer. So and I'm pretty sure I have a lot more planned in between now and the summer. So it never stops. It's every weekend. Every weekend I'm doing something. So, and pretty much every week I'm doing something. I can't be, and I'm blessed for it. It is the most busiest. These last couple of years have been the most busiest years of my life, to be honest with you.
All right. Any more questions?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm ready. I don't know if Hardcore is ready. Probably not. I don't know if Angel Metro's ready. Probably not. I don't know if Trash Stash is ready. I don't know if he's ready. He probably is. Or he's underestimating me because of his comment on Twitter asking who I was. So we'll see.
All
We
right,
shall
Jimmy.
see.
We want to thank you for your time. We will see you Saturday.
100%. See you guys Saturday.
Take care.
Take care,
No
Jim.
problem.
All right, guys. That completes his interview. I think we're going to take it home.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the Three Wheels of Wrestling. Joe, again, thank you for you taking the time to join 2/3 of Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. LA Willie, is of course on a great vacation in Disney cruise. So thank you again for filling in.
I wonder if he saw Jalen Hurts at the parade.
Yeah. Next time if I ever come on the show again, I'm gonna make sure I'll put it as Willie Wood.
There you go.
There you go.
So we can still have the three wheels.
All right,
that works.
Let's hit our music.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
Everybody, this was the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Have a great night. Till next time.